Lokati here. Today we're going to go over a leveling guide for Slayer. This is a generic leveling guide for any of my Slayer builds, whether it be Smite, Cyclone, Flicker Strike, or whatever else we come up with. Now, leveling Slayer has generically been done with skills like Sunder, or bow abilities, or Frostblade, Splitting Steel, things like that. However, all of those leveling options have the same problem. That's the constant need to upgrade your weapon. So you're going to spend 30 minutes to an hour every campaign run just picking up, identifying, comparing, swapping out, maybe recoloring, just trying to maintain a good weapon as you level through the campaign so your damage stays consistent. However, we don't have to do that. We have two wonderful skills, Poison Concoction and Explosive Concoction, that both do not allow you to use a weapon, therefore not having to worry about a weapon. And so this gives us a really good, smooth leveling process in the campaign by only needing to pick up armor pieces to satisfy resistances, life, armor and evasion for survivability, and not needing to do anything at all about our damage but get our skill going. So we'll go over everything real quick here. Act 1. We're going to rush down to Fury Bolt's notable for damage and then head over towards Gladiator's Perseverance. For our skills, we're going to be running a Muled Cobra Lash or Splitting Steel if you don't want to mule from a shadow, Vitality and Clarity for our auras, Shield Charge with faster attacks and momentum, Frost Blink for a movement skill, and Sniper's Mark. One thing to note here, you can pick up a Precision and keep a Precision leveled to whatever you need it to be, so that it is the minimum amount of accuracy to sustain wherever you are in the act or the part of the campaign that you're in. So do use that as an option. Only level to necessary accuracy. So this is an option that we have here for maintaining our accuracy as we go through the campaign. Now into Act 2, we are going to move over to Gladiator's Perseverance, pick up Precise Technique and Point Blank, and use the combination of Precision and our Weathered Hunter Wheel to maintain the accuracy necessary so that we always have more accuracy than we do have life. Now in Act 2, we're going to run Poisonous Concoction with Volley and faster attacks. We're going to swap out Vitality for Flesh and Stone because it's incredibly good for survivability. Shield Charge, faster attacks, momentum, Frost Blink for movement, still Sniper's Mark self-cast, and then add in Blood Rage for some additional attack speed, as well as some Fury Charge, Frenzy Charge generation. Moving over to Act 3, we are going to continue with the same trend. We're replacing our Clarity with a Haste. We are continuing to use Shield Charge, Frost Blink, Sniper's Mark, and Blood Rage. And we are moving over and completing our Weathered Hunter Wheel because ideally we're going to have more life on our items. We're picking up Critical Strikes do not ignite, but we have 100% hit damage against ignited enemies. And we have a chance to ignite on this wheel here, which will solve most of our ignite needs. And we're going to move over here and take Adjacent Animosity to couple with Point Blank for massive bonuses to damaging targets that are near us. As we move over to Act 4, we're going to move up here and take Inversion to round out our damage with our Explosive Concoction. We are going to continue using Explosive Concoction with Greater Volley and damage with attacks, and add in Fire Penetration if you can get a 4-link in Act 4. Flesh and Stone and Haste are still our auras, same movement, Sniper's Mark. We can actually add Mark on hit here if you don't want to cast Sniper's Mark any longer. And that'll make it a little bit easier for you going through. Again, in Act 4, make sure that you have a Precision only level to the necessary accuracy on your character. Then we're going to move over to Act 5. Act 5 just brings some changes to the skill tree. We're going to add a little bit more life in here because things are going to start to get a little bit more difficult. We're going to take a fire resistance, cold resistance, lightning resistance, chaos resistance penalty from killing Kataba, moving into Act 6, and so this will help with our survivability here. Our skills in Act 5 are exactly the same as they were in Act 4. There's no change here. Again, Precision only level to necessary for your accuracy. Then we're going to move over to Act 6. Act 6, we're just going to continue up the tree, get some additional projectiles, as well as some additional attack speed here, and some additional accuracy if we need it. Our skills are unchanged, again with precision only while necessary. Then we'll move over to Act 7. Act 7, we're going to move across to Forces of Nature and Revenge on the Hunted. This is strictly for the evasion and the increased maximum life, and this is for the penetration with our damage. As far as skills go, again, precision only leveled while necessary. Explosive Concoction, still the same. R is the same. Movement skills the same. And again, Sniper's Mark, we can run Mark on hit in order to keep our Sniper's Mark up without having to self-cast it. In Act 8, we will continue moving up the tree, pick up Clever Thief with Leech Mastery. This means we're now doing enough damage that Mana Leech will mostly sustain us, not needing to constantly use our flask. And then Instance Leech, of course, helps with that mana sustain, as well as giving us a little bit of life leech off of our generic elemental attack damage. And then again, moving up and taking more life because we will need more survivability. Our skills in Act 8 are identical to what they were, but you should start seeing some 5 links available either for purchase at a reasonable price with currency you've gained through the campaign, or just on vendors where you can find 5 links later on in the acts. Flesh and Stone and Haste are still our auras. Shield Charge with Frostblink. Sniper's Mark with Mark on hit is still going to be our go-to for curses, and Blood Rage for our frenzy charges and additional attack speed. Moving into Act 9, we'll see more of the same. We're going to continue to pick up another frenzy charge because we have a little bit more frenzy charge generation with Mark Mastery Frenzy, and another frenzy charge up here. You have a jewel slot that you can fill in with any useful jewel that you can find as well, moving over to this frenzy charge. Our skills in Act 9 again are the same. Precision only leveled to what's necessary. Explosive Concoction with the same links. Auras, movement skills, and Sniper's Mark with Mark on hit for our curse. And then we're going to finish this off by going into Act 10. Or the end of Act 10 will look very similar. You're just going to flesh out smaller nodes on the tree, get everything put together, get ready to transition into whatever skill you're going to be mapping with. If you want to continue mapping with Explosive Concoction, because you need to get to level 70 for Flicker Strike, you can continue with this build until then, or you can switch over to whatever skill that you would like to. Skills at the end of Act 10 are going to be no different than the skills at the end of Act 9. Sniper's Mark with Mark on hit, precision only leveled to what's necessary, and Explosive Concoction with greater volley, elemental damage with attacks, fire pin, and faster attacks. This should get you through the campaign in a very nice, smooth manner. Items, we don't really have anything absolutely necessary. We are going to run an A-Gate Amulet because we do need strength and intelligence for our skills. And we are going to potentially have to utilize Beef, Wisdom of the Glade, Prowess, and Thief's Craft in order to hit those stats that we need. So keep these in mind. Take these as necessary, or if you have gear or bench crafts that resolve those, then you can move those points back into the tree. And you can do that back and forth as you level through the game. With Faustus and King's March going standard in the game, we now have access to gold respecking while leveling, so you can move the little things around as you need to in order to hit those stat requirements. You also have the option of going over to Mana Flows if you need even a little bit more int, but ideally, Wisdom of the Glade and Thief's Craft should cover your bases as you're leveling, along with your amulet for stats and any other items that you have for stats. For your gear, helmet, just armor evasion, armor evasion, armor evasion, armor evasion, rings, resistances. Get life, get resistances, get defensive stats. You do not need anything at all damage related on any of your armor pieces in order to maintain a good, clean clear in the campaign, which is really where Explosive Concoction and Poisonous Concoction shine. So keep your armor pieces just as defensive as you can for a smoother campaign process. We'll be using a life flask, a quicksilver flask, a silver flask, Topaz and Sapphire as soon as you get access to them, and then you'll just use mana flasks until you get access to a Topaz and a Sapphire flask. Topaz and Sapphire are not a requirement, but they do boost your Explosive Concoction damage by a significant margin, and we're not going to worry about flask sustain or speccing into anything for flask charges because this is not a full-on Explosive Concoction build. If you don't have Topaz and Sapphires, you'll still kill everything with the base Explosive Concoction damage. Now, if you have any questions over anything, please leave a comment down below or come by my Twitch channel. I'm happy to answer them. I really appreciate y'all watching. Thank you very much. Peace.